Hey folks, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is perfect timing in blues. Whoa. Perfect timing in blues. I found a very simple method to get your timing right on track and make it perfect. And I tested several workshops, live workshops, which I did, and even experienced guitar players which never used this method before weren't able to perform the exercises which I were asking for. And through this tutorial, it's going to be a long tutorial here. We're going to go through several segments specific for shuffle blues. I mean, there are two types of blues, of course. There's the shuffle blues, is this one. That's shuffle blues, and the other one is the straight blues. We only do shuffle blues today because the straight blues has other rules. I'm going to do a tutorial about this some other time, but now shuffle blues. First of all, the first real task for any level is to get your timing, feel the timing through the body. How does that work? Let's take I prepared several examples of blues. You can take any one, or take the you see on iTunes there are HPCrazy blues backing tracks. You can take those which are marked with shuffle, or you can take any other blues track which is a shuffle groove. Then let's do this one here, medium tempo. So this is the tempo. So the first task, you already saw it, is that you get the beat, the quarter note, like tak, tak, that one on time, and you're able to nail one note. This one is in C, so it will be in C pentatonics or a C chord, whatever you want. Probably just play a C. Try to nail it on the first 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And now this is now the task. Even the exercise is very simple. Try to be creative in it. So, first task, just hit the first quarter note of the 4 exactly on beat. So go with it with your body. Feel it and get your pick and everything moving perfectly, that you attack the string at the exact point where we want to have it. Then the second task is be creative in that. Add some vibrato stuff, add some cool stuff. You can do anything you want, be creative, but only first quarter note of each measure. 3, 4, and nothing else. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Feel it. The point is, even if you're an experienced player, do this exercise till you really feel it. And then with your body, I call this the rowing boat exercise. It's like you go with the body, and then you whoa, you hear the chair. And then you have to feel it. Don't just do it and think, okay, that's easy for me, blah, blah, blah. That's it. I mean, of course you can do it that way, but till you really feel it. Like it's a release now. There comes the first quarter note. We will take some time. Serious. It's a total simple exercise. Put it into your practice routines. Feel, and you cannot go to the next exercises of this tutorial if you are not able to feel the first quarter note. Serious, dude. Serious, dude. The cool thing is in learning guitar is the learning never stops. Well, once you've done this, we go to the next step. Whoa, I forgot something. Do it in different tempos because every tempo feels different. I just showed the one exercise with 80 BPM, so probably my tracks will be the coolest because there you see the BPM. As an example, I try something fast. This one is in E. And here the tempo is like fast. This tempo, feel the beat. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Or let's do some very slow. I'm so stupid, I forgot this. A very slow one. This one is A, very slow. 1, 2, and here be exact on time. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and the other thing which I forgot, don't forget to breathe, because if you you notice if you forget to breathe while playing, you're not in harmony with the guitar and the music. You notice this when you play and suddenly make like that's a sign you didn't breathe. Yeah. So now let's go to the next step, which I've changed the color now to green because green is the color of hope. So hopefully you went through the first exercise, succeeded. Now you're ready for the second exercise. Still seems like a beginner's exercise, but if you couldn't pass first exercise, you can do the second one. Now you can play any quarter note and you try to improvise. And therefore, I give some, you can see what I mean. So that means you don't have to play all the time, but feel where the quarter note is. Duck, duck. See? 2, 3, 4. One thing which is very important on any timing exercises, but here in specific, stop. If you stop the note, stop on the beat. Why? Because if you have some delay, oh, I need to set the delay on the proper timing. If you set the delay on the now I have a little bit strong delay. If you want to start to really work with delays, a note has a starting and an end point. If you want to make the delay dissolve itself, you need to stop a note precise on the beat, because the delay tempo is set on the beat now, on the tempo of the song. And if you stop, see, then it continues. And it comes exactly on timing if you stop on the beat. Therefore, you need to feel where the beat is. If you miss the point, the delay will be wrong. Try to do it. Well, that's difficult for me. I cannot do it anymore. Sorry, guys. I train myself this method too much. I cannot do it wrongly anymore. So that will be the next exercise in different tempos, of course, again. I'm going to switch the delay off again. And this is just for the purpose of being precise on the beat, because that makes everything. If you cannot hit the beat, you will not be precise. Yeah. Maybe one note, people who have a unregular heartbeat, they probably have difficulties with this exercise. So that was proven somewhere, and I'm sorry for these people, but maybe for these people it's this exercise are harder than for others, because a beat of the song is very much connected to the heartbeat. Yeah, so that's why the breathing thing in which I was talking about is important too. Just make it flow. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do this, as I said, with tracks. Do it in different tempos. Let's do it again with the fast one in E. Same thing again. 2, 3. In this case, if it's fast, if you play precise on the quarter note, it always sounds like a more or less sophisticated solo. If you don't do that, it sounds like wishy-washy burgery. So now slowly we're getting to the real stuff. Now comes the next step. That will be the shuffle groove itself. Yeah, folks, now comes the shuffle groove itself. To understand the shuffle groove, you need to understand the basic momentum in blues or in shuffle. This is the triplet. What is a triplet? For those dudes among you who are married, you should know waltz, because when you marry, you have to do the waltz. I never married. I nearly married once, but I ran away discussing the marriage at the place where you marry. Anyway, so but I can still play triplets. But triplets are, if this is the beat, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So let's take a note. This is for an example, the A here in the 7th fret. Do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now I just play with down, so you can also do with up down. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now if you want to play a shuffle groove, the shuffle groove is nothing else than you play the first and the third of the triplets. So now comes the hard part for all of you. If you've never done that before, play the shuffle groove. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, count, have the beat going on. That's why I'm always now on the big view, that you see that I'm moving with the beat. If you did not pass the quarter note and hit the quarter and have the foot going on, exercise, you're not ready for this now. Serious. So you have to go back to the first chapter. If you pass the first 2 chapters, you can do this now. Have the beat. 1, 2, 3, count, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you do 1. Well, we have the A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can do it with the dance hooks or with alternate picking. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One thing which comes is when you do all the picking thing. With triplets, the first triplet is down, up, downstroke. The second is upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. So always changes. That's a little bit tricky, probably, but we'll talk about this later. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In this case, you can do down, upstroke. With the beat, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is now the perfect shuffle groove. Next step, play it in a tune like this one in C. Take the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and so on. Any tempo. Let's take a slow now, a very slow one, because very slower is harder. That's how it is. 1, 2. This one is an A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Oops, I dropped out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And now, if you have a feeling then for the shuffle, Then you're ready for the next exercise. Now you can play anything you like in shuffle, using foot, feel it, relax. If you stop a phrase, stop on the quarter note as learned in the previous chapter. Yeah, now it makes more sense to sit on it closer. You see some examples, but it's not basically about the examples, it's about the timing. So this one is in A, so we play A minor pentatonics here in the 5th fret. And now we do any kind of things in shuffle. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That would be an example. We play a phrase here. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Stop exactly on 4. See? 3, 4. Suddenly the timing gets better. And on the slow one, this is still not enough. It still sounds like an exercise, but you cannot go further if you cannot do this properly. If you choose the fast track, we're already done. Because on the fast track, E, 1 and 2 and 3. See, now the stuff really starts to sound cool because it's on that timing, and if it's steady, it's already pretty much enough to fill the track and to carry the track. If you're not on time, you don't carry anything. Probably you carry the shopping bags of your wife, but not the tune. Sorry guys for those who have to do that. Or carry the garbage out. Yeah. Like with Al Bundy. Yeah, so let's go to the next chapter. That will be now triplets, playing triplets. The color has changed again now to light blue. Color of now we see how wide it can go. Yeah, triplets. As I said, a previous chapter with triplets. When you play triplets, let's do it on any. I do it now just in A minor pentatonic. Triplets, or so 1, 2, 3. Let's take this as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's this one here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like waltz. As I said, the married guys among you should know waltz. If not, something went wrong. Your wife is still angry with you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You don't, my foot is doing the beat, and then do triplets. Now comes the little challenge with the alternate picking. If you do down, up, downstroke, every second triplet change, you start with down, up, down. So 1, 2. Second triplet, you will start with upstroke. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe first practice this alone, just like. Yeah, and then do it with the track. Next exercise would be just play through the, let's say, pentatonics in triplets. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So now, once you have done this, you can try with a track. let's do a slow one, a very slow one first. That will be this one here in A. As I already said, you find some shuffle backing tracks on my backing track CDs. Blues backing tracks volume 1 and 2. They're marked as shuffle with the key and the tempo. So they're just cool to practice this stuff. And the key shows the pentatonic positions which you can do this, that you don't get bored with just with one key. And the tempo shows if it's fast or slow. Good. So this one is now tempo 50, very slow. But it's perfect. The slower, the more you have to concentrate. 1, 2, 3. See? Now comes a point with triplets. Make a accent on the first. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now when you're into the full improvisation, it's impossible for you to count. These are now exercises. Later when you make a free improvisation, you cannot count anymore. What helps you to make the accent is your foot. Because then you know, da-da, there when it comes down, there's the accent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. See, I don't count anymore. I know when the foot comes down, then back, there I'll make the accent. This is part of practice work. I mean, some of you might think, wow, this stuff is just too easy for me. I don't care about this stupid thing. But serious, if you're able to do this, I don't say anything. If not, you're a dude. Because it doesn't matter. That's the center of timing, being on the beat, you know. And these are exercises which help you to be on the beat. Yeah. Once you have this done, then you can try to play triplets freely in any solo. You can add the previous chapters as well, playing on quarter notes, just playing on the first quarter, stop on quarter, as I said, you know, with the delay. And now it starts to play shuffle. Now it starts to sound like something. So let's do it with delay. I'm going to play with delay now. First I have I play with a slow one. And the delay is now set on tempo 50. I have to put this footboard a little bit nearer. Oh my God, did you hear that sound? I hate it. Yeah. It was because the footboard was scratching on the floor. Now we do it. Okay. This is now the tempo. Oh. Everything resolves now. I was just playing these timing things which I was talking about. Let's do it in another tempo. On the slow one, you feel something is still missing. This will come in the next chapter. On a fast track, you feel we're already done. This is tempo 110 E. See, on the fast one, we're finished. If you want to play faster stuff, it doesn't really work here anymore. So on the fast one, we're finished. We have quarter notes, shuffle, triplets, and that's it, finished. And I mean, of course, and now I played some licks, and the next step would, of course, be analyze your licks. This will not be part of this tutorial. Analyze the licks which you're playing in timing signature, and then you can really play them precisely. But this tutorial is just about getting the timing things together and start to feel it. And then later, when you feel it, you can put any lick, like this one which I played before. That was a triplet lick. Probably you already played it before and you didn't know what you were doing. And now you know, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Because now you can control the timing and you know how to resolve it. This was a repeating lick and you resolve it precise on the beat. And that's what this whole thing is now about. Yeah, now one thing is still missing. We go to the next chapter with Sextoles that only works on slow blues. I've changed the color now to violet because it's the most, the highest level of ascension when it comes to blues. Sextoles. Sextoles, as the name is saying, sextoles are 6 notes per beat. Well, what can I say? This is the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. Pretty hard to count it with saying it still. On sextoles, if it's slow, you still can count it. If getting faster, you cannot count it anymore. But therefore, you need to get a feeling for sextoles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is sextoles. 1, 2, let's try a slow one, the slowest on sextoles. This one is in A. So I play just one note in sextoles. See? They have to be precise. If we do another tempo, like 80, now it's getting already tricky. Already fast. Now you cannot count really anymore. No. Or like on 110, there you don't really use it anymore. You can, but it's all for freaks. That's this. That would be this. Yeah, that was already pretty fast. Yeah, that was Sextoles. If you can do that, it's cool. But normally, for the normal plays, you don't do this on that tempo. You can, but still not. So these are now sextoles. Now this next step, if you want to do runs or stuff like this, let's go back to the slow one. Play the A minor pentatonic in sextoles. 1, 2, 3. If you play the blues scale, it will perfectly resolve. Blues scale, it goes perfectly from A to A. You can do that if you want. show something here on the closer view, some Sextole ideas. So let's do this one here, because this is pretty easy. Lick, have here the finger here on in A, on the 5th fret, pull off with the pinky. In triplets would be, that was the tempo of the song before, I think 50. And then in Sextoles. So you should be able to switch between triplets and Sextoles. Triplets, Sextole. Now the trick is if you can control the Sextoles which you're playing, now, then like I was playing a repeating pattern, you can get out exactly on the quarter note. Yeah, that's how it works. On slow tracks, it's not a problem. Or if you do. That also works if you want. It's slow, it's not so problem. And again, you can make the accent on the first of the 6 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in this case, you're not able to count all the time. The foot will help you to feel where the accent is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There where the foot comes down, you make the accent. See? Slow blues sounds cool. If we add some delay, oops, delay's on now. It sounds cool. That was a Sextole too. And now we have a perfect timing. Yeah, folks, that was now the entire tutorial, perfect blues timing. And serious, if you think this stuff is easy, it's not. Some of you might think, okay, I dig for the Sextole chapter, but if you cannot do the quarter note, it's not possible to be precise on the Sextoles. Don't take this tutorial on the light shoulder. It's worth doing this. And I can tell a story here now, just quickly. I studied guitar playing on a master level. And I practiced like 16 hours daily during my studying times, and also before. And at the end of the studies, I found out my timing was just terrible. It was nearly perfect, but because I never did these lessons as I showed, I was not conscious what I'm doing. And therefore, and in a situation where my thinking abilities were totally blocked, like on stage of the famous jazz festival Montreux, I was a guest star there. I could not play anymore because I didn't remember what I need to do because I never practiced this stuff on the emotional level. And these exercises, I found that I just developed this exercise after that incident because I needed to find a method where I can connect timing emotionally with that you feel the timing and not what it like. Oh, and I play Sextoles. You have to feel it with a beat. Feel it. That's the really the hard part here. I was serious. I'm not allowed to say this, but I was a really good. I'm still a good guitar player, but I was a complete guitar player at that time. I was not able to fulfill these exercises, and I haven't seen any good player, even good players, who could just do this from the scratch, who had never done this before, and that's the main thing here about this tutorial here, and this. Even if you watch the entire tutorial, this will keep you going for months, and you always learn something new, how it feels. Also, now I was sitting, and when you playing by standing, you start to feel the groove. What I do, I dance, and then I feel the groove, and then I adapt the same exercises to dancing moves. And this is another kind of practice work than the one which you probably did before. Some of you might cannot stand anymore. I know some of you have things which, they have some disadvantages, that they cannot really move normal anymore. You find your own way how to feel the groove. It's about feeling the groove, adapting, and your technique. And this is also technical exercise. Even if it's not going for speed, you need to adapt the entire body to feel the groove, to adapt the timing signatures that you can play them. And once you have a feeling for it, then you're ready to go for licks and stuff like that, which I didn't show here. I didn't show any licks because if it doesn't make any sense concerned to this teaching thing here. Yeah. Something more to say? Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. Don't take this tutorial on the light shoulder. Serious not. I'm very serious about it. All my life students, they have to do this. All. And it helps. It just like... And even the most talented players among you, they think, okay, this is no problem. I have a good timing. From the ear, I have a good feeling for timing. And it sounds like 95% okay, but the last 5%, even if you're very talented, very experienced, you cannot take the last 5% without these exercises. Yeah, that's the good news. It's not so hard to do, it's very easy to do, but you have to do it. Dr. Pink, want to say something? Yeah, you can, as I already said several times, you can exercise with a metronome, you can exercise with any track, you can take my tracks on iTunes, bluesbacking tracks volume 1 and 2, those which are marked with shuffle. You see the key and the tempo, and then you can practice with those, practice with different tempos. Slow is harder, because slow makes... gives more opportunity to be wrong or miss the precise point of the timing. If it's fast, even if you're not totally precise, you don't hear it so good as if slow. So slow is harder. And then just try to have fun. And once you went through the lessons, always keep this in mind when you play licks. And then you analyze the licks and say, okay, I'm playing this and this. Now I know what I'm doing. And then your timing will get better within, let's say, 6 months. As I said, it's not a matter of a week or two, it's a matter of months. But then it's going to be cool. And you never, at least when you get nervous somewhere and you cannot control what you're playing anymore, then you play out of your subconscious. And that's the way we want to have it, playing out of subconscious. This is what you really can do. The other thing is just you just learn to do it, but the subconscious is what you really can play. And these exercises get things to the subconscious. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Good, now we have it. If you have any questions, take a private online lessons. I can check your playing and see where the problems are. Probably something easy to solve. Who knows? If you want to support the HPCrazy Academy, the free one, make a donation or become a Patreon on the Patreon page. It's marked HPCrazy on patreon.com. Follow me on Facebook. I have a Facebook. Follow me on Spotify. And follow me on Instagram. But there I'm Hans-Peter Krüsi. This is my personal account there. I think I don't need too many social media accounts. That's enough. Good. Now we have it. Dr. Pink, want to say something? Dr. Pink said, I know you're going to be successful.